Now to the latest casualty in cancel culture and public shaming. When former television journalist Jessica Rowe decided to reinvent herself by launching a podcast, the Jess Rowe Big Talk Show, everything seemed to be working out fine for her. It reached #1 on Apple Podcasts after just the first episode.
But then came this tweet on Thursday. My latest podcast guest is Senator Pauline Hanson. She talks love, raising kids and why she keeps going. Oh dear, Jessica Rowe, you just committed the crime of showing the human side of a woman the left detests. The backlash was swift, as was the social media pile-on.
Jess, I have a lot of respect for you, but this is not it, tweeted Indigenous activist Nakia Louie. You're platforming a racist. You're celebrating someone who has made a career and money from degrading, disrespecting, and dehumanizing many people. If you're not interrogating them, you're validating those racist opinions.
And from the ever more politicised Australian of the Year, Grace Tame, came this. This is how discrimination and hate is subtly enabled and normalised. Everyone's entitled to their own views, but not all views should be valorised by promoting their source. Sounds like Animal Farm. Pauline doesn't need to be heard, said Grace Tame, but those whose oppression she's both driven and reinforced do.
What followed was depressingly familiar. Jessica Rowe tweeted this. There has been much reaction and comment to my podcast conversation with Pauline Hanson today. Pauline's political views are the opposite of mine. I have never agreed with her on those issues, never will. Kindness is at the heart of who I am. Amongst the comments today, I heard from some who I admire enormously, including Nakia Louie and Grace Tame, and I want to thank them specially for their candour. This will be the start of a bigger conversation for me with those who this topic directly affects. I've asked the Listener app to remove the episode ASAP.
No, Jessica Rowe, this is not about kindness. It is about capitulation. Thanking Grace Tame, who thinks her status as Australian of the Year empowers her to decide what journalists can and cannot say, is thanking your censor, as it is with Louie, a professional victim and race baiter herself, who in 2016 tweeted sneeringly, quote, "My main concern in Indigenous affairs at the moment is our use of the saying white dogs. Dogs are innocent, sweet, and loyal. Let's not insult dogs," she said. Great one to talk about racism, isn't she?
Unbelievable. What Jessica Rowe should have done is actually listen to the advice of Pauline Hanson, a woman who knows exactly what to do when vilified and disparaged by the mob.
Because I'd really like to know how you manage that. Because I know for me, when people have had a go at me, it used to hurt me dreadfully. And I'd cry and things. Because
yeah, but Jessica, why? That's your problem. Okay? These people, do you know them personally? Do they know you personally? Why would you listen to anyone that has no involvement in your life, wouldn't know a thing about you, don't put a roof over your head, don't put food on your table, have no interest in your health issues? Why would you listen to their opinion?
Exactly. Nine's political correspondent Chris Ullman tweeted, another violent attack on a female journalist by grandstanding progressives who lack the wit or curiosity to try and understand a different worldview. This is what journalism should be and why Jessica Rowe can be proud of her work.
But sadly and predictably, however, most journalists stayed silent. Some even joined in the condemnation. Here's Channel 10's Antoinette Lattouf, as she is one of these, as she was rightly castigated by talkback host Neil Mitchell.
That isn't the role of the media. It's not to do fluff pieces on someone who is divisive and dangerous. But what right does Antoinette Lattouf or Neil Mitchell or anybody else have to tell that journalist how to conduct the interview? What right does Antoinette Lattouf or Neil Mitchell or anybody else have to say that interview isn't satisfactory to our standards, it can't be published?
But there was no journalistic standard. Look, Jessica Rowe is a former
that's in
colleague
your
of mine.
judgment. What right have you got to make that judgment?
Finish.
The arrogance is unbelievable, isn't it? Oblivious to the hypocrisy and irony, feminist and journalist Georgie Dent celebrated the shutting down and browbeating of a female commentator. My plea to journos as we head to a federal election, please consider who you platform. Your decisions can undermine the vulnerable, she tweeted.
And how's this for Orwellian doublespeak? The ABC's comedian, Sean McAuliffe, tweeted, "Isn't this really a story about the triumph of free speech?" Rowe asks the questions she wants. Hanson gives the answers she wants. People get to rail against it being a podcast. Rowe gets to change her mind, and we get to express our opinion about it.
As we've said on this program time and time again, never let woke outrage and bullying dictate what you will and will not say.
Cancelling others is bad enough, but cancelling yourself, which is what Jessica Rowe has done, only emboldens those who revel in tearing down other people, and they will despise you for your weakness.
Yep, the revolution doesn't only eat itself with people like Jessica Rowe, it polishes its own cutlery and serves itself up on a silver platter.